Officers, this man doesn't be arrested. I have a constitutional obligation to be in this room.
Tense moments inside the state capitol this morning. Georgia state troopers arrested that state senator. Fox 5 obtained the mugshot of Republican Senator Colton Moore. Moore's been banned from entering the House chamber, and he was led away in handcuffs after he tried to force his way in for the governor's State of the State address. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the state capitol with more on the political drama. Deidre.
Yeah, drama indeed, Christine. Now, Senator Moore tried to pass through these doors along with his Senate colleagues, but things quickly grew heated when he was denied entry. High drama at the state capitol Thursday.
It has gone too far. I have an obligation to be in that room.
Republican Senator Colton Moore led away in handcuffs after tussling with Georgia state troopers.
Complete violation of the Georgia Constitution. I have an obligation to represent the people of Northwest Georgia.
Moore detained following a heated exchange with a Capitol staffer who barred him from entering the House chamber for Governor Kemp's State of the State address. Moore was banned from the chamber by House leaders last year after he made disparaging remarks about late House Speaker David Ralston. The senator was escorted to a waiting patrol car and transported to the Fulton County Jail.
But Georgia's economic success.
As the governor delivered his 7th State of the State address, laying out his legislative priorities for this session, GOP Party Chairman Josh McCoon criticized lawmakers in a written statement saying, no duly elected member of the state House or state Senate, regardless of party or position on an issue of the day, should be denied the opportunity to represent the people who elected them at any such joint session.
Well, the Speaker of the House has the responsibility of maintaining order and decorum in the House chamber. He's done that here today.
House leaders defended their actions.
This senator caused a very dangerous situation, endangering law enforcement, doorkeepers, staff individuals that were present.
This is a complete and total constitutional debacle, is what it is.
Our cameras were there as Moore left the jail Thursday afternoon.
Today, my liberty was taken away in defense of the liberty of people of Northwest Georgia.
Now, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones issued a written statement in support of Moore this afternoon, stating, whatever personal differences Senator Moore has with others, he is a member of the body over which I preside. All elected 56 senators and 180 representatives deserve the opportunity to fulfill their responsibility to attend joint sessions of the General Assembly. There is real work to be done this session, and the focus should be on delivering for the people of Georgia instead of personal grievances and egos. Senator Moore indicating this afternoon that this is far from over, saying that he may press charges. At the state capitol, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, Deidre, we'll see how this drama plays out. Thanks.